Quiet.
That's weird when Phil's here.
Too much quiet.
It's like a Bjork song in here.
Quiet. Bump.
That's a great video.
That is a great video.
Probably the only Bjork song I know too. So
Really?
Yeah.
You don't know Human Behavior?
No. I literally just finished saying it's the only Bjork song I know.
You don't know Ants Marching?
Still don't know.
One door, the little ants are marching.
That's not Bjork.
I am Bjork and I am singing. They all do it the same. It's clearly Bjork. It's right there in the lyrics. They all do it the same way.
Is the show over yet?
Hasn't even started. Come on.
Feels like we've been here for hours.
Oh my God.
Cut on the fence, and I am Bjork. Cut. See, it's right there in the song.
Right there
She's
in the
not
song.
shy about singing it.
No.
She loves to boast
you
about her
seen-
singing prowess.
I'm sure well, maybe you haven't seen the videos of Bjork attacking there's like
Bjork
one particular
attack.
journalist that keeps
Yes,
like
I saw that.
confronting her at airports, and a couple of times I think Bjork is just like up and punched her.
Bjork attack. This Bjork is like a maniac. That's another one of her classic songs.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't
she's
remember
warning
that.
ya. She's
No.
warning you.
No.
She wants you to know. Boy.
Ho hum.
Ho ho hum.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
What?
we've been having like random power outages. Like things just snap off for a second and back on. So consider that a warning.
Okay.
Ugh.
That's gonna be a fun episode then.
Mm.
All right.
Try not to have a power outage.
I will.
Yeah,
do my
just
best.
try not to.
Yep.
Hold
you
off on
attempt-
that for a
Have you
little
tried
while.
that?
It really will not show me our live stream. It says that we're live.
I can
We
see the
are
live stream
live.
right now.
I know
see
in my
it.
subscription list it says we're live, but when I go to the
I'm
page, it's not there.
waving. I'm
Oh.
waving it.
There we go.
There it is.
Weird.
Wow,
Wow, I got out of focus.
I have to burp. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh,
Gross.
there we go.
You can't
So
mute
gross.
your microphone for that.
Yeah, you couldn't
I
have.
could, but why would I
Deprive
that
the
away
listening
from you.
audience.
I mean,
Well,
this supposed to be
point.
shared?
good point.
Yeah,
The whole point of this show is to share audio with our
Right.
listeners.
yeah. This is.
Burps
I mean,
and all.
I'll be honest. I didn't care about the listeners. That was for you. That was for you too.
Thank you.
You know.
Well,
Look,
I don't
I
think
know
Bono or The Edge would like that.
I know. First of all, Bono loves my gaseous emissions. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I've talked to him and he loves them.
Yeah.
The Edge,
What did he
He
say when you? What did he say specifically?
he said, "Oi, Gov." That's
Listen to CJ just losing his shit over there.
He said,
That's-
"Oi, Gov." Yeah.
that's one righteous burp. That is.
Sounds
You don't know what
like him.
Bono sounds like, do you?
Obviously, I do because I just did a full
Perfect impression.
There's one righteous burp. Me hearty.
You say me party?
Me hearty. Yeah,
Marty.
that's how he talks, man. And
Those
then
are
he was all like,
words.
"The environment, what?" So I mean,
Okay.
you know, it's him.
It's true. Who else would talk about the environment in that accent?
Mm.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Yeah. Crikey, he said.
Crikey.
One more burp for the Barbie.
I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hello and
And
welcome
the-
to episode
oh, there it is.
692 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, February 11th, 2020. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Got a nice little. Is that a Snuggie or is that just like a nice?
No, it's not a Snuggie, but it's. I think it's the same material as a Snuggie, but it's actually a
Very
hoodie.
plush. It's very plush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter gave it to me for Christmas.
It's a
Nice.
snargy. They're cheaper.
Very
Snargy.
comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like wearing a warm hug
From who?
from somebody wearing a Snuggie.
Oh, that
And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Greg's got some sort of very plush Ouroboros consuming him
Mm.
right now.
And I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. Ouroboros? Did I say that correctly?
Sure.
I
Snake,
think so.
snake eating its own tail, I believe. Is that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, there we go.
Yeah.
What's up, jerk?
Which
talking
one
to
of
you,
us are
CJ.
you talking?
No, not you. That person
The other
listening
one.
at home. You know
okay.
who
You know who you are.
There
You
it
know what
is.
you did.
So what's up?
Yes, indeed. Not too much, you
No?
know. Just the sun came out today in Washington.
Usually
That
comes
was
out
good.
tomorrow.
Yeah. We had a lot of rain in the last week. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, muffin.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just so you know,
It's
the
weird,
ground
right?
outside is
It's weird,
covered
right?
in
You
ice.
don't
CJ
think of
covered-
like cloudy and rain
Covered
in Seattle.
in ice
Yes.
outside right now. So
CJ
yeah, rain. Boy, that sucks.
CJ was a bit taken aback. There, it rains here in Seattle. That's
What do you mean? It's overcast? What?
yeah,
Ow.
yeah.
Thank
yeah.
God I don't need to leave the house today.
Let me,
True.
CJ.
I had to take my daughter to a birthday party,
Let me give you some advice.
but it was just downstairs. So
What?
it's fine. One of our neighbors that goes to school with my daughter had a birthday party, so they had their birthday party
Oh.
downstairs. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a little advice for you, CJ. If you're feeling
What's
a
that?
little gloomy due to the overcast weather,
yeah,
gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face.
Getting worse.
yeah.
Put on
Getting
a
worse
happy
there.
face and spray sunshine all
Spray.
over your face.
What?
I'm
Oh,
not
it's about the
talking
president.
about sunshine. What?
Hmm?
Oh, were you making political humor?
No,
Oh,
I never would because I know people hate that.
yeah, they do. They
Hmm.
do. You're gonna get us another bad iTunes review.
Oh, geez.
Mm-hmm.
Should we talk about some video game news then?
Let's
So
talk
quick-
about President Taft.
A quick 180 from
That
there.
old tubbalub.
Here's some news I think you guys will both like.
Oh, I love news.
The Double Dragon Kunio-kun collection that we talked
Yes.
about on the show is coming
Yes.
to the US.
Yeah, and by
Very-
we you
very
mean
exciting.
me.
Well, Greg talked about it a little
I
too, right?
talked
is-
about how much I wanted it to come here when we
Yeah.
were talking about it originally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Both
And
of
I'm the
you-
one
And
who
then,
actually
unlike
bought
you,
it.
I showed a little bit of patience,
patience.
and now that patience is
Patience
being
is for
rewarded by a version
chumps
that I can actually
and
understand.
weirdos.
That's true.
Oh, that you can understand.
Understand.
Nice.
February
Real
I can read
20th.
English, most of it.
You're way out of focus, by the way, Greg.
I know, and I can't figure out why. Because on my screen on our actual Zoom meeting, it looks
Yeah.
fine.
It's the coat. It's the fuzzy coat. Keeping it fuzzy. Keeping all of
but
them
yeah,
fuzzy.
on the YouTubes, it's all fuzzy.
Do that
That's
thing
weird.
where you put your hand in front of the
I
camera
did.
and force it to. Oh my goodness! there it is.
Ah! It's
Now
not
say-
working.
well,
It's
whatever.
not working.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Yeah.
February 20th is the date that the Retro Brawler bundle it comes to PS4 and Nintendo Switch. There you go.
022020. That's how you can remember that. As the release date.
022020.
Yes, or
That's not
2020.
enough.
Oh,
that's not enough numbers.
2020.
02202020. That's an extra number.
There you go.
Yes.
So it's coming out on February 220th.
02
Mm-hmm.
is February.
February
Mm-hmm.
20.
20 is the
Yeah.
20th. And then 2020 is the year
2020.
in which
we
it
could
is
just
right
say
now.
February 20th.
But that doesn't make. I mean, how do you remember that?
You don't. But what I think you will remember is that it includes 18 classic games,
Oh,
and
games.
11 of which are Kunio-kun games that were not released
that's right.
outside of Japan,
That is true.
but they are going to be localized
That's awesome.
In English.
into English. Yes,
Yeah. For the first time.
for the very first time.
For many of them.
Play it again for the first time.
That's right. I won't read the
CJ,
list of all of
the
them,
Christmas
but
tree's gone behind you.
It's been
We
gone
talked
for
about
a few
that.
weeks.
We've
I
talked about
wasn't paying
that.
attention last
That's
week.
not a real flower.
That's not a real flower either.
Those flowers are fake. I wonder. Here's the thing.
What do you?
Because I was talking about double dipping on this. Because as we know, I bought the Japanese version.
That's kind of a Phil thing to do.
Well, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
But I would happily buy them again to have them in English.
En anglais.
But then CJ, do you know this guy CJ? Chris
I've heard of him.
Johnson?
Failed video game producer.
That's the one.
Oh.
That's the one. He said to me, he suggested that perhaps they might update the version on the Japanese electronic shop with the new language option.
It's possible.
That'd
They
be
could
nice.
do that.
Do we know it's going to happen?
Because,
No, but it's
because you know the
possible.
Switch is region free, and
It is.
the way they generally work that is that you have one bundle
Right.
that gets downloaded to your machine, and then it chooses the language that it shows you from that. So if that is going to be the case, then yours may be updated. If not,
Yeah.
then you're out of luck.
You know, I'll buy it again.
I hope
Why
it's not, because I feel like if it is, you won't learn anything.
What would I learn? What's the
The
lesson
value
here?
I don't
of a
actually.
dollar.
I'll be honest. I don't think you learn anything either way.
Because let's be honest. Did any of us really think there was a chance that this game would come out in the US, considering that it has how
Yes.
many games that were
I
never
thought right from the start that it would come
11.
to us.
11 games that they would have to translate
Localize.
into English? were the
11
odds
out
of
of
that?
18 games, right?
What are the odds of
Yeah.
that?
But let's be fair.
Yes.
Those probably aren't big projects from a
Maybe.
localization standpoint.
But it's, I mean, it clearly is worth it to them, but you know, I mean, Americans don't know these games.
No,
for the
no,
most
no,
part.
no,
We know
no. But I'm
what-
saying that
what
the amount of work that would go into
I know.
localizing those games wouldn't be.
but it would still
relatively
be it would
large.
still be an amount of work.
Well, sure.
for-
Talking to you every week is an amount of work
I know, but you do it.
for almost free.
Yeah. So my point is, why not talk to me when I was in Japan and then not worry if I'm in English?
What?
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is my point. Thank you for making my point.
I don't feel like I did.
I think so. You, Greg, look like right now on the original Star Trek series, whenever Kirk would see a pretty lady and the camera would cut
Yeah.
to the lady and she'd be in nice soft focus.
That's what
That's
this
what
is.
you
I
look like right
Syb-
now.
I look like the way they shot Sybil Shepherd in Moonlighting.
There you
Oh, man.
Just the Vaseline smeared over the lens.
Yeah.
go. Well, anyway,
Whereas
I don't know
CJ
why. I can't
February
figure out
20th
why it's
looks
out.
bold and sharp and crisp.
that's
That's
me.
why we call him
You could-
Crisp Johnston.
You could cut
They don't
yourself
call
on
me
that
that,
chiseled
though.
jaw.
Mhm.
see?
And I have.
What?
Mhm.
All right. So last week we talked about Platinum Games possibly doing a Wonderful 101 Kickstarter, and guess what? They did.
Can't imagine that's going to
Called
happen.
it again.
Wait,
Called
what?
it again. Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
great. And I mean, it's happening then, right? It wasn't for very much
happening.
though, was it?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, the Kickstarter goal was like $50,000.
Yeah. Which
That-
they
which
last
they-
I checked, that's not enough to
Blew past
in like a
That's-
minute.
in a very short amount of time, less than a half hour
Yeah.
after the thing launched. Now they're up to $1.5 million, and it has
US.
25 days to go.
Yeah.
So if you go to like,
Jesus.
there are several Kickstarter tracking sites
Mhm.
that sort of estimate what it could be at the end, and the estimate on KickTrack for the Wonderful 101 is like $7 million.
Oh, jeez.
obviously it's not going to.
That's a lot of dollars.
Pace.
It is.
But Platinum had to go in and add some more stretch goals because it blew past basically everything.
Well,
at this point,
from the sound of it, because did you notice the deliverable date on that?
Yeah, April 2020.
Yeah,
so it's done.
So the game's basically done at this point.
Yeah, it sounds like this is just, hey, we want to publish this ourselves. Yeah. So give us the money so we can print up a bunch of box art. Get someone to slide them into those little plastic cases.
Are they even doing that? Because it's I guess there's a physical release. Yes,
yeah, there's indeed a physical release. They gotta go buy a shrink wrap machine.
Okay.
They gotta hire someone to stand in the in there.
I guess you're right.
Shrink wrapping all those copies.
But yeah, the work is already done.
Yes,
clearly.
Yes.
So. But they're up to $1.5 million, so that means that they've hit like a bunch of their stretch goals.
Yeah,
and we'll probably get past the ones that they already had, which included like a new 2D side-scrolling adventure, a remix soundtrack, and
they already went past
even more. Yeah, they went past that. They went past the 2D side-scrolling thing.
Yes, which sounds like it's going to be Beautiful Joe-esque in nature.
Okay.
Which is, Beautiful Joe was great. Yeah. So they're working towards the remixed soundtrack. Mm-hmm. And then I believe the next stretch goal beyond that is expanding the little side-scrolling adventure.
Thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, of course I'm right.
So yeah, they blew through everything. So Switch and PS4, and I think Steam release as well. Yep.
Yes.
Time attack mode. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
Anyway,
do you remember last week when we were talking about this, and
we all said we didn't have any interest in it whatsoever?
Yeah, and how I talked about it. Yeah, I played the game for like an hour or so, and it just
tried the demo. I wanted to like it because it really seems like something I would like.
Yeah.
Nope.
I threw in for the Kickstarter.
Which level did you do? Were you getting the digital version?
I threw in for the $1,500 version because I need to get unblocked on Twitter.
Oh,
so
yeah, you need Kamiya to unblock you.
Yeah, because I said some things that I am not proud of, and I figured this was my chance to make things right. No, I threw in for the cheap version, the cheapest physical version, which I believe was like $40 or $45.
Yeah, like $40. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm getting the I'm getting the physical version.
Switch or PS4?
For the Switch.
Okay.
For the Switch, it feels
switchy.
It feels well. I mean, it was Wii U-y.
Yeah.
So why not? This. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first time that a Wii U game has been released on the Switch?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
I feel like that's great because they can start mining that library a little bit. They don't want to go.
No. So, yeah, anyway. I'm gonna give it another try.
Okay.
I'll give it another shot. Why not?
Sure. So, you like your Bayonettas, and you like
I do
Platinum stuff.
I do. So
there you go. Right.
I'm willing to give this another go.
Alrighty. Well, in other news, Dan Houser is leaving Rockstar Games.
Who?
The co-founder of Rockstar and one of the writers of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Leaving.
Well, if he's a writer of Red Dead Redemption 2, then it's probably for the best that he leaves.
Oh boy!
Wow.
Oh boy! We're gonna get some hate mail. I believe he also did a lot of work on Bully. So
I think you're right. So I guess Bully 2.
We should play that sometime and do a game club.
Yeah, we should actually. That'd be fun.
Bully's so good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
They made a lot of good games.
They did.
But I mean, yeah.
What do you think Rockstar's next game is going to be? Is it going to be Grand Theft Auto 6 or is it going to be something else?
I want to say Grand Theft Auto 6, but I don't know that they need to make another Grand Theft Auto game at this point.
Because they keep making money on
the first one's insane.
And they've
not the first one, but the current one. The first one.
By the first one, I mean the sixth one.
Yeah.
If you don't count any of the many, many spin-offs.
And it's really Grand Theft Auto Online that is making money.
Yeah,
on that. Right.
I would like to see them make a 6. I mean, even if maybe they bolted on to Grand Theft Auto Online or something like that. But because I really enjoyed Grand Theft Auto 5, the missions and everything a lot. So I would definitely be happy to play some more of that. So wasn't a big GTA 4 fan, but 5 I was really, really happy about.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it won't be with Dan Houser anyway.
I don't really feel too strongly about that either way. So
okay. Sony, remember Sony, right? They're releasing that PlayStation 5 this year.
They made my Walkman.
They opened up a sign-up sheet where you can learn you can be the first to learn about information on the PlayStation 5.
So a mailing list?
So yeah, get yourself on.
Why are we calling it a sign-up sheet? I mean, that's every company you go to that releases some kind of product on a regular basis asks you to join a mailing list. What's the difference?
I don't know. And let's face it, you're probably not going to hear it from that mailing list first.
Well, yeah, that's the
you're
thing.
probably going to hear about it on Twitter or elsewhere first. But
how slow of a news week was it this week where
really slow
company has a mailing list that you can sign up for?
Very slow. Gets on the list. Yeah, exactly. Well, the last thing I want to talk about is the coronavirus. The one coronavirus.
Wow, this is a weird turn for our show.
Impacting production of the Switch and also impacting the port of the Outer Worlds. And obviously, a lot of companies outsource quite a bit of work on AAA games out to China and places in Asia that may be affected by the virus. So we may see a lot more delays coming up, including the potential of delaying the hardware for PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. What about the next iPhone, CJ?
I think that as well. Like anything manufactured in China has
which is almost everything.
Which is almost everything.
Where are you gonna get your MAGA hats?
Are those made in
China?
No,
we're not gonna. Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay.
They're famously made in China.
Well, okay then. I don't have one where I could check the.
Direct your political hate to Greg Seward, Canadian.
Yes.
It's no hate. It's made in China. I'm just saying everything's made in China. That's
a lot of stuff is made in China.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is made in China, including video game systems and outsourced art for video games, especially of the AAA variety. And
like you finish any major Ubisoft game, especially.
Yeah,
because they've had a big studio there for a long time.
Indeed,
but you see tons of Chinese developers listed on those games.
Well, yeah. So we'll see how the virus impacts that. A lot of companies, including like Foxconn, have been shut down basically.
Well, didn't they
not allowed to come back to work?
I was going to say, didn't they like officially extend some holiday there? Like, was it Lunar New Year or something like that?
They did, and they extended it again.
Yeah,
now,
so
till like the 15th.
Essentially, mean like the whole country shut down for a while.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, so, they've just entered. They've had to enter the eternal blue phase of Lunar New Year.
Wow,
get it?
Anyway,
get it?
With that joke landed perfectly.
It's a video game reference.
Did you see that? Did you see CJ throwing shade? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Let's go into what you've been playing. And hey, Phil.
Oh! Now you want my help?
Start us off.
Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil. What you been playing, Phil?
Did you know tonight's the Oscars?
I've heard. Yeah,
tonight's the Academy
Twitter's
Awards.
Telling me. Apparently, Taika Waititi won something.
Oh, did he?
Right.
What did he win? That's
good.
I don't know.
What did he an
something
award
for Jojo? What is this movie? Jojo the Rabbit.
I don't think it's called. I don't think it's Jojo the Rabbit. I think you're confusing something here. I'll say this. I'm actually proud to not know any of the Oscar nominees tonight.
You don't want speaking as an NFL fan, you don't like it when Hollywood shoves their awards down your throat.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds painful. Those statues are pretty big.
Yeah, I understand they're pretty heavy too.
Mm.
But what was I saying?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Best
I
adapted
rarely pay
screenplay
attention.
goes to Taika Waititi.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yes. So there you go. Oh, I'm just. This is turning into a live stream of the
Yeah,
Oscars.
I know. This is fantastic.
No, I just Toy Story 4 got best. Okay, whatever. But best animated short film went to Hair Love, which is a super damn cute short. If you've not watched that one,
Okay.
you should watch
No.
Hair Love. It's a really cute animated short.
Is it on
No.
Disney Plus?
No, but it's on. I believe it's officially on YouTube. Like you can watch it, like
cool.
a non-pirated version on YouTube.
Speaking of that, there was another short that I wonder if it
think.
was nominated about the 1955 Le Mans disaster. That was really well done.
Oh, really?
I watched that earlier this year, and I think it was also officially released to YouTube,
Oh, okay.
which I highly recommend. It's like I said, it's just a short, and it's about the most devastating racing accident in history.
Right.
And it's anyway, it's fantastic. I'll send you guys a link. Give
Excellent.
it 5 minutes. But I think it was nominated as well. I'm gonna go look while you tell us what you've been playing.
Well, I'll tell you what I've been playing. Some video games.
Heard of them?
I'm continuing my journey through the cosmos in Star Wars Jedi : whatever the subtitle is of that game.
Jedi subtitle?
Fallen Order. Still really enjoying that game. It is janky. It's got its technical issues, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. Learning more.
And that's all that matters.
Well, that's just it.
That is all that matters.
Yeah.
You have fun with the video games that you're playing.
Yeah. I'm learning force
to be perfect.
powers. You know, I'm getting more force powers as it goes. And it's got kind of like a little Metroid vibe to it, in that you visit planets and there's a part I can't get to because of reasons, but then suddenly I can now do the force push, and now I can knock down a wall that's back on this planet, so I got to go back there and push down the wall, and that opens up a new area for me. Or now I can do the double jump, which is a Jedi skill, so now I can jump over a large chasm, that sort of thing. But yeah, it was a fun game. I'm still having a blast with that.
Cool.
But the big news this week, as far as I am concerned, is the return
Of the Jedi.
The hit blockbuster film from 1983. But PSO, Phantasy Star Online is what PSO stands for.
Yeah.
Which was a game that I loved back in the early aughts.
And by early aughts, you mean 2000. Because it came out in 2000.
It's the early aughts, right? I continued to play it.
The earliest of aught.
I played it for a couple years, so that
The
love
earliest
extended
Me too.
throughout the early aughts.
Well, because it came out, Phantasy Star Online came out originally on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I know. I was there.
Then they released
Mhm.
Phantasy Star Online Episode 2
Uh-huh.
for the Dreamcast.
Mhm.
Then they released Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2 for
1
the
and 2.
GameCube and the
Uh-huh.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Don't forget Phantasy Star Online 3.
Card.
You can forget that
I
one.
found my copy of that the other day.
It actually, that's not a bad game. It's actually a pretty fun mechanic, but
That's not what I heard, but okay.
I enjoyed it.
I remember Mark McDonald and Shane Bettenhausen having a big argument over his review score for Phantasy Star Online 3.
Really? Over
Not
Shane's review score?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't mean or anything. It was just,
Right.
I think Shane gave it like a 9.
Uh-huh.
And, and I think the other two
I don't know if it's
reviewers
that good.
didn't.
Right.
And so in those moments, then it would trigger like hey, I need you to explain your review score.
Yep.
Convince me. So
Yep.
Apparently Shane's opinion was wrong.
it frequently is.
Oh.
What?
About Star Fox
Shots-
Adventures, too.
See,
Shots
there you go.
fired.
There's another one.
Did he like Star Fox Adventures?
Yes.
Oh, Shane, come on. Come on.
No.
Gee whiz.
And Jar Jar Binks. He's a big Jar Jar Binks fan.
Well, and Jar Jar Binks,
Well, who
yeah.
can blame him? Have
the
you seen
evidence
that
is
lollipop?
mounting. The evidence is mounting.
So PSO was fantastic, and PSO 3 was not. PSU Phantasy Star Universe was
terrible.
really not.
Really
Man, that game
bad.
was bad.
Really bad.
What
From
a
both a technical
disappointment.
standpoint and just from a gameplay standpoint.
Yeah,
it was
no, that
disappointing.
The only
was
thing
a-
that had going for it was how they split up the single player quest into episodes, and they had those great songs, that great intro song.
No.
And by great, I mean terrible. But
Oh, I don't even
Yeah.
remember that. So
Me neither.
It's the only thing I remember about that game.
yeah. But Phantasy Star 2, a brand new game that was created just this year,
Wrong.
is
No,
now
no,
I feel like that's
being
wrong.
released. No, PSO 2 is how many years old at this point?
Almost 20.
PSO 2
No,
is how many
Phantasy
years
Star
old at
Online
this point?
2 came out originally in 2012.
Okay.
Really? It
So
took that long?
8 years
Yeah.
ago,
What?
PSO
Wow.
2 was released in
In Japan. Yeah.
on personal computers. Was it on any consoles over there?
It came out on PS4 and Vita as well.
Wait, so what was this?
Wow.
Wait a minute. What was the second Phantasy Star Online game on the Dreamcast?
That was PSO
That was
episode
episode
2.
2.
Didn't we just say episode 2 didn't come out till 2012?
No, this
No,
is not Phantasy Star Online episode 2.
this is
Fantasy
2.
Star Online at
Oh my
2.
Okay.
This is not a second episode of the first game. This is the second game.
Yeah, and there are
Okay.
4 episodes or maybe 6 episodes of
And it's
Phantasy
available for
Star Online 2.
Xbox One, which is the third Xbox.
That's right.
Numbers just don't mean anything anymore.
So hold on, because it's gonna get weird.
This show,
Yeah, so this-
never.
This is an old game that was
There are
released
6 episodes in the Jesus.
only in Japan. And
Only
now
in
I've been
Japan,
crying
on
about it for
PS4,
8 years.
yeah,
PC,
yes.
Vita.
But now it's coming out here. It's coming out
Yes.
here finally. And this past weekend, there was a beta test. You could sign up to play the beta.
It's out on
And-
Switch too in Japan.
Is it really?
It is.
Gee
apparently.
willikers. My goodness.
Yikes.
But it's just coming out here on Xbox and
Windows
computer.
10. Yeah.
Windows 10. Okay, not
right.
Steam, not Epic Game Store.
I think it might actually be coming on to Steam as well.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Clearly, we don't know. Clearly,
Clearly,
we're
we
idiots.
don't.
Yeah, I think we've
Yeah.
proven that much.
But I do know it's coming out on Xbox One because that's where I played it. Gosh darn it!
Me too. Hey,
and-
I played it too.
You played it with me.
I did
Yeah,
for a couple hours.
Chris and I. Chris, I just called you Chris.
You
That's
did.
weird.
What?
CJ
Yeah, don't do that.
and
Wow.
I played this game yesterday, Saturday, for a while. They had connection. They was the beta was supposed to start on Friday, but they had a lot of technical issues.
Too many people showed
Yeah.
up.
Go figure.
Yeah. So it didn't actually go on. It was supposed to go online at 5 p.m. Pacific. It didn't
Right.
actually go online until like midnight
Oh man.
Pacific.
Yeah. But yeah, you and I played. A couple of my buddies from work joined us as well. So we
Yep.
had a
Yep.
we had a 4-person crew tooling around the land of Phantasy Star Online. And
And for those who
I-
don't know, it's like an action RPG
yes,
where you select a character and select
Yes.
a weapon set, basically, and
yeah,
go on these little missions to collect and kill things.
yeah, you're going through these kind of maze-like levels, shooting monsters, getting loot, getting
The
uh,
Schluter, wait, action
Meseta,
RPG looter.
which is their currency. You're getting weapons, you're getting armor pieces, you're getting
Yeah.
discs that give you new skills and techniques.
Yep.
And of course it's by Sega. The
Sega.
the Phantasy
excellent.
Star creators. And it is boy, does it feel like old PSO
It does.
and all that
really does.
implies.
Yeah, I was gonna say for better or worse.
It feels like a game that's probably 8 to 20 years old.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so did PSO2 in 2012 feel like PSO in 2000?
Yeah,
Did it
kinda.
feel 12
It
years
may,
old then?
may have.
It
Yeah,
it
'cause
really
sounds like it
does. It really feels like it. It brought back all those old feelings of playing PSO, which I am all for.
Same.
Yes, the game is janky and weird, and it feels like it's kind of held together by string and spit.
Yep.
But
Especially the interface, because
oh my god,
there are so many steps for things that you have to do. Like you have to accept it, you have to read about the quest, and then you have to accept the quest, and then you have to do the quest, and then you have to come back and say that you did the quest, and then you have to go into another menu to actually accept the rewards for having done the quest.
Well, and it's worth pointing out that this game is or will be free to play, correct?
It was launched as a free to play game back in 2012, and
Yes.
it's free to play. Yeah.
Yes. So there are I don't know what the monetization scheme for it is. I know
All cosmetics, basically all cosmetics
okay.
stuff. It's not
Which-
like buying levels or anything.
Right. Okay. So it's just get a cute outfit or something. I know that there's an in-game casino that I'm
There
sure
is,
you can.
but I don't know that you can buy things for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I don't know. But whatever the case
I
is.
didn't go in there. That's not why
Really?
I'm playing Phantasy Star
Right,
Online
well, of
2.
course
I'm
not. Of
playing
course
Phantasy
it's
Star
not.
Online 2.
to run around and
for-
shoot monsters.
Exactly.
Or slash monsters, I believe is your character
Slash
class.
monsters, because I'm a hunter.
Yes. I play as a
Traditionally.
ranger.
20 years ago I was a hunter, and I'm still a hunter now.
Same with me and rangers. I hang back from our little group and pew 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 snipe shoot the monsters,
Yep.
providing some backup
Snipe shoot.
support. It's great. It's great.
I just get in there and
Yeah, you
stab,
like
stab.
to like to get right into the mix of things,
It's true.
whereas I, a coward, prefers to stay back and not worry about giant monsters biting me. But it's a
Okay.
great game, man. It
It is a really fun game.
I had a lot of fun with it.
I mean, even back in 2000, the game was really grindy.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
go through the same levels over and over and over again to get
Yes.
better stuff.
For sure.
And this feels much the same.
Mm-hmm. The interface is overly complicated and messy,
Really is.
and it just but once you kind of get into a level and start playing and talking to your friends and figuring out which way you're going to go and figuring out
Yeah.
strategies while you're fighting giant bosses and stuff, it is really fun.
Yeah. And the thing
So-
about it is like, online free to play games that I play a couple others,
Mhm.
and they are generally updating their interface. They might add a new tutorial or like streamline things to make it easier for people to get into. Phantasy Star Online doesn't seem to do any of those things. Or if they have done any of those things in the last 8 years, I can't tell, because wow, there's just a lot of UI cruft on top of everything. It's just like, yeah, crazy.
But it's
The
great.
gameplay itself, super fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I will definitely be playing more of this game when it
Yeah.
launches in the
The
time
spring.
it launches. Spring?
Spring.
Is that all we know
Yeah.
right now? Spring?
Spring, yes, and they're going to do another beta at some point before
Okay, good,
release,
good.
open beta. So
And-
they had special quests that you could go
Right.
on during this one. So they were called urgent quests, and they were open for half-hour periods where you could basically like party up with people and take down a boss. And
Right.
this is a true multiplayer game in that, original PSO you could play with a party of 4. And those are the only 4 people you would see in the environment. This one, you can party up in a party of 4, and then also see up to like 8 other players in the environment, in the regular environment, before going to a boss. So see other players just kind of around doing the same mission that you were
Yeah.
doing.
And it was nice too, because you're progress from the beta will carry over to the full game, and
That is correct.
and by completing the urgent missions during the beta, you get special rewards that including
a Dreamcast little mag friend for you. The mags are little things that float above your shoulder.
little hovering robot buddies.
Hovering robot buddies. Yeah. So I wanted my Dreamcast mag.
Yeah. And normally mags look kind of like a
pod.
Like a pod, little robot comma hovering over your shoulder. But the old one, they had cute
transformations. Yeah, they did.
That you were usually a bit difficult to earn, but I think you could get like one that looked like a Genesis or a Saturn, I think.
Yeah, I want to say you could.
Yeah, you could,
I'm pretty sure there was one that looked like Opa Opa, the little ship from Phantasy Star.
Fantasy Zone.
Zone. Not Phantasy Star. That's this game.
That's this game.
The other fantasy fantasy game.
Well, the other thing they had that was special is they ran a concert in the game.
Oh, yeah.
On Saturday night. And so I went to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like the shopping area of the lobby. They had like this little space stage floated up, and this idol singer came out and performed 2 songs.
Who was it? A real person? I mean,
no, it wasn't a real person.
Sharon Apple? Was it Sharon Apple?
It was just a polygonal model.
Well, I figured it. I didn't think it was going to be like, hey, here's like a Mortal Kombat sprite.
Was it based on a real person?
Yes.
Like,
no,
the voice
not based on a real person.
Or was it like singer? Hatsune Miku or something? Was it Hatsune Miku?
No, but it was a
make a lot of sense.
Dubbed song, so sung in English. And one of the mechanics in the game is that apparently in the lobby, with how many people say encore at the end of the first song, she'll come out and do a second one. So,
no,
and she did.
It's like you're living in a virtual real life.
Yeah. I did not attend this virtual concert.
Yeah. But we did sit in the lobby. We did take a seat.
We did have a seat.
Let's all go to the lobby.
We did.
We did.
We spent quite a bit of time in the lobby. Well, I wasn't there for the concert. I was just there to get quests for
get ourselves
purposes.
A quest.
Yeah.
And get some Masada.
That's all I played. I mean, really. Right.
Yeah, I played a bunch of that too.
I know, I was there.
As we just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also played a little game by Rebellion called Zombie Army 4 Dead War. Rebellion, of course, did Strange Brigade, which I loved a year or 2 ago. I don't think it sold well, but I still loved the game. I thought it was a fun little team shooter. And Zombie Army 4 is kind of similar to that, although it's a continuation of Rebellion's Zombie Army series. So the plot of it is that it's during World War II, and Hitler has resurrected an army of the dead to do his bidding.
Well, hold on a second here.
Hitler is also a zombie in this reality.
Adolf Hitler?
That's the one.
Okay, yeah. Right.
So your job is as part of a squad is to defeat the zombie army in different parts of Europe. So
it's a sequel to Bionic Commando then.
Clearly, yes. But it's a lot of fun. The shooting mechanics are fun. Rebellion also does this series, Sniper Elite, which has like its sort of calling card is a zoomed in camera, kind of like Mortal Kombat, where the X-ray shots the sniper shot, like the sniper bullets going through body parts and things. So there's some of that in this, which is fun. But I can only play it on easy difficulty because it is really hard. And the people who are into this series are good at shooters. I am not. Go figure. And so like you get bonuses for things like headshots, and you really have to do a lot of zombie crowd control in this game and like running around to refill your ammo and continue shooting. And also there are environmental things that you can interact with to take out some more zombies and not actually have to shoot them. So I'm going through it very slowly, and also I get mild motion sickness while playing. So while I love it, I like the game quite a bit. It gives me a little bit of motion sickness, and I've tried turning off motion blur and other things, and it so far hasn't worked out that well. But I do really enjoy the shooting action of the game. It feels really good. The guns are really fun, and the alternate history zombie Nazi thing is just fun in general. So I'm playing that.
It must be hard to command an army of zombies. I feel like they'd be hard to organize.
I was thinking about that very thing this afternoon, actually. I was like, how does something like this really happen? But it involves a lot of
really happen.
magic.
We all know
incantations.
zombies clearly can't be organized.
It's a lot of dark magic, is what I'm led to believe through the cinematics in the game.
That's what Mr. Bones led me to believe.
Yes.
Dark magic and drums.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Bones.
I also started playing Control.
Oh yeah,
by Remedy. So yeah,
I still need to grab this.
Came out last year. I'm a big fan of Alan Wake and Quantum Break, and I bought Control last year and just hadn't loaded it up yet. And had some time this afternoon and was like, you know what? I'm gonna load up Control. So I did, and man, this is a really good game. all those awards that it got last year,
totally worth
right
it.
on.
Totally,
right
yeah.
on.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Is what I was trying to say.
Well deserved. Yeah, the mechanic is great. The shooting feels really good. Part of the mechanic in the game is you can use telekinesis to kind of bring items up in the environment and throw them at enemies, and that feels really good too. So yeah, I'm having a good time with it so far. Not very far into it, but hopefully I'll play some more of it. I'll probably go at the pace that Phil's going through Jedi Fallen Order.
So we'll finish it sometime in 2021.
Finish it sometime late this year.
No, I got to finish it before Last of Us comes out. So
yeah. I also loaded up a long play of Phantasy Star Online for the original Xbox and started watching it.
Why?
Just the music and everything just takes me back.
I have to say, even though I wasn't really a big fan of the game, I was a fan of the style. The visual style, especially.
The visual style is great.
Yeah, I just really liked that.
And the weird thing about the evolution of Phantasy Star Online is they had a great formula. Then they made a fucking card game. And then they made these other games.
I read an EGM that was a 9.
Phantasy Star Universe, which was horrible. And they just kind of lost the plot.
Oh my gosh. PSU. More like just PU.
More like PS.
I want to say you made that joke
Huh?
probably 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Swish.
Swish. But anyway, yeah. So I started watching a long play of it. That's 8 hours long. It's just fun to have on in the background. Just listening to it. Anyway, that's all I've been playing. Greg.
Hi. I grabbed the Sega Ages Shinobi on the Switch this week. And played through that last night. I've never really given Shinobi much of a play at all. I've never been a huge fan. Huge fan of Revenge of Shinobi. Huge fan of Shadow Dancer, and of course Shinobi Legions is incredible for not necessarily all the right reasons. But I've never really played a lot of Shinobi. I played, a little bit of the Master System game and played a tiny bit of the arcade game. So, but I'm also getting to the point where I kind of want to, if it's a game I'm even a little bit interested in on the Sega Ages releases, I want to get them because they're relatively cheap anyway. And I just like that this series is continuing, because I was really worried that, because there was a report I think last year that said that they weren't performing very well, and there was a rumor going around that they might sort of end the Sega Ages series, which I think would be a real shame, because it's nice to see not only the great back catalog that Sega has, being mined for, to get these classics out there again. But when the way that M2 handles it, obviously, is fantastic. So this one is it's just the arcade version of Shinobi, although there is like I don't know if it's called an M2 or whatever. It's an updated version that basically adds a life bar to the game because, of course, Shinobi is a single hit kill in the arcade. So it adds a life bar. You can adjust the difficulty. You have all the other, like all the filters and stuff you're used to having in M2 games, like pixel perfect, stretch to fit the screen, and like different backgrounds and interlacing modes and stuff like that. And you have a rewind function that you can turn off if you want to. So it's, a little bit of everything. But I'm really glad that I played through it because honestly, I learned something about the franchise. Like I had no idea. If anyone has ever played Shadow Dancer, which I've played multiple times, and as you get further into Shadow Dancer, there are these ninjas that will appear. They have two swords, and they'll flip around the screen, generally jumping right on top of wherever you are. And later on in the game, they like to throw like screens full of these things at you. It's usually where I end up stopping when I'm just sort of having a casual play. And I had no idea those were directly out of Shinobi. I had no idea that those enemies were taken directly from the old arcade game. Because when you get near the end of the original game, they do the exact same thing. It's like you'll step into sort of the middle of, well, I mean, you're always in the middle of the screen, but you'll scroll forward and you'll get to this point where there's like sort of a barrier on one side and a barrier on the other side that you can still run forward. And then they'll just spawn in like 4 of these things and they'll all just lunge at you. And you've got very little chance to react. I also didn't realize that great, in Revenge of Shinobi, there's that scene that you saw in all the advertising where he's jumping along these posts over the ocean. And it's just great waves taken directly out of the arcade game, which I also didn't know. So anyway, big fan, of course. M2 Sega Ages release, always great. I love too that if you use the arcade background, so it looks like you're playing on an old Shinobi arcade machine, and you can see like a sit down outrun off in the distance a little blurry, and a sit down afterburner. And of course they've got all the cacophony of other arcade machines sort of playing underneath the music of the game. And if you listen really hard, I think you can actually hear the Daytona song playing.
Oh, really?
I think it's a cute
That's
addition.
cute.
But anyway, yeah. So I played through that. And then the other thing that I actually fired up for the first time today, I bought it last week, is Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh yeah. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I hadn't played it, but I've heard lots of great things about it. And of course, trying to lose a little weight. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna give this a shot. And I played the first world, I guess today. Really, really great. I love the way that they've made exercise sort of a way to control an adventure game. I mean, it mostly, for the most part, plays like an endless runner, where you're actually running, jogging in place. But the ring is a nice touch. So it's just a flexible ring that you can squeeze or pull apart. And then it just always has you like twisting it or holding it over your head or holding it down toward the floor, and good workout. Really good workout. And really dynamic. Like the whole thing feels, it mixes sort of strength training exercises with cardiovascular in a really nice way. And it's just a lot of fun. It's something interesting to look at besides the same, like if you've ever done a few years back, I was doing home workouts before where I was using like 22, I don't know what it was. It was a workout system. It was a bunch of videos, which was very effective. But once you finish that program, it's like, well, I'm going to go back now and watch the exact same video 12 times over the space of like 4 weeks. And it can get, surprisingly, it can become very boring, which is one of the reasons that I think I slowed down on it. But, this feels like the best way so far that they've ever integrated working out with video game. I mean, Nintendo did it really well before with Wii Fit, obviously, but
Right.
this is way more engaging. It's way more interesting. My kids were playing it; they loved it too. So yeah, I really, and also was surprised to realize, and I'd forgotten that the Joy-Con can actually monitor my heart rate, which I'd forgotten you could do.
That's right. The IR sensor there on the
yeah.
right one.
Yeah. So anyway, very cool. Really like it, and looking forward to continuing to play it and beating my enemies with exercise. So that's it.
Sounds
That's all I've been
good.
playing.
I need to pick that up at some point.
You should.
Yeah.
And don't wait for it to go down in price, because it never will. So
Well, yeah. All right. Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Tweedly-diddly-dee. Tweedly-diddly-dee. Tweet. Tweet. Tweet, tweet.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Greg Peterson, who says, "Hey guys, curious,
Hi.
do you listen to more video game soundtracks, original or arranged, or traditional music? I'm split 50-50, so I wondered what it was like for the P1P crew."
I can't listen to music anymore.
ever since the incident.
Well, the court order.
I'm intrigued.
You can only sing your own music.
Not allowed to talk about it. That was part of the plea bargain.
I see.
Wow. There's a reasons why we don't have Tower Records in the U.S. anymore.
And it's you?
That's all I can say. All I can say. I don't listen to a whole lot of video game soundtracks anymore.
Yeah,
I used to
me
listen-
neither. I used to a lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
Used to a lot. But yeah, I don't. I don't anymore.
Taking a ride in CJ's Geo, what was it, a Metro? What was your car?
It was a Geo Prism.
Just Geo Prism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, you were going to hear a lot of video game music in that baby.
That's true.
Mhm.
You were.
Yeah.
You were.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've started to again, just because I started to get into collecting records, and those are largely the kinds of records I buy. Now, of course, I also
video
have
game
you know,
soundtracks.
yeah, I also have,
Oh.
of course, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie soundtrack and 1 and 2.
Well, the
You know-
original score or the
No, the licensed soundtrack.
You need the partners in
License.
crime.
Yeah, the
You're not-
original score.
you're
right.
I like the Reservoir Dogs soundtrack and stuff like that. Like I bought a few of those as well, but largely, like I've got, I grabbed like the Streets of Rage 2 and Snatcher, the Snatcher 2-disc set,
Mhm.
the Mega Man multi-disc set. So I've been starting to again. I used to listen to it a lot more. I don't do it so much anymore, but now that I am starting to do it again, I'm definitely leaning towards. I like the original. I generally like the original stuff more than like remixes or whatever you want to call it.
right. Right.
Rearrangements. But I also generally veer towards, like, from what I just listed there, late 80s, early 90s stuff is really what I care about, There have been some games with soundtracks that I really liked other than that too, but generally my tastes go back there.
Yeah, back when we all bought CDs, remember those times?
I do.
I still have a few.
I have a few too, and I would buy video game soundtracks then. Like I would have multi-disc soundtracks. Of,
Yeah.
various games, including I think Phantasy Star Online is one of those that I have.
You probably did.
Oh yeah, I have the TSO soundtrack on CD.
But I have multiple like Nintendo, like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and
Mhm.
old Final Fantasy stuff, like symphonic stuff. I have. So I have a fair amount of like older video game soundtracks, but I don't listen to them as much anymore. And
Because
maybe
who
part of
listens
that
to
is
CDs anymore?
well, yeah, but a part of that might be that, I'm an Apple Music subscriber, or really any service that you subscribe to isn't going to have like a depth of video game soundtrack materials.
I find
So-
Spotify has a decent amount.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
No?
there
I have a
are
decent
some
amount of stuff from Spotify.
Some now, yeah, you're getting some, but I don't know.
Yeah, I had a bunch of the like music game soundtracks.
Oh, same. Bust a
Parappa
Groove.
and Lammy, Bust a Groove.
Vib Ribbon,
Uh,
that was in CJ's car a lot.
Yep, Vib Ribbon.
Ribbon.
DDR,
Gitaru
Beatmania.
Man.
Oh,
course.
yeah, DDR.
The Guitar Man soundtrack. So
I would
good.
love the guitar. I have to have a copy of the Guitar Man soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's a great soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah. Have that on compact disc.
Back in like 2002, I would have been split 50-50 or maybe even 75-25 on video game soundtracks. But now
Yeah.
it's more like maybe 10% game soundtracks.
Well, I'm assuming also that a lot of listening time is taken up by podcasts at this
And
point
that
as well.
too. There's
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
I
I
listen to a
imagine
lot of
that.
those.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this one from Hackralius Zelda 2 AOL, who says, "What's a retro game that you have never played until recently and were pleasantly surprised how good it was? For me, that was Yoshi's Island recently on SNES Online for the Switch."
Such a good game.
I mean, I just talked about Shinobi.
That's true.
You did.
What's a
It happens for me with doing Generation 16 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Just because, you know, they, especially where I didn't get my Genesis until like 1991. So there's a couple of years worth of games to play before that I when I finally got my system and it was possible to rent games around here, which, you know, wasn't that common for quite a while. It was all Nintendo games all the time. I did go back, you know, I'd played Ghostbusters and Thunder Force 3 and, you know, like I managed to play all that stuff back then. But even things like that, like games like, say, Elemental Master is a good example of just a game that I hadn't really put any time into back when it came out. So I get to kind of, that's one of the reasons why I actually started that show, is it was a bit of an excuse to go and play all that stuff. Slowly, obviously. But so that tends to be where I sort of discover games that I'd never really enjoyed before.
I have this doesn't technically count as an answer to the question because it's something I've not played yet, but it is on my short list of things I am really meaning to sit down and play and hope to sometime soon. But I really want to play through Crusader of Senti on Genesis.
I played that with actually CJ's best friend Mike was with me a couple years ago during my Extra Life stream.
Oh, nice.
And somebody had requested multiple hours, like 4 or 5 hours of it. So we played a lot of it, and
that's cool.
Man, that's a good game.
Yeah, it's like a Zelda, like an old 2D Zelda game.
It kind of is, but it's really its own thing. Like after you get sort of past that original, because it does look really majorly like A Link to the Past. I mean, they clearly took the style from A Link to the Past and use that as their starting point, but it feels a lot different. Like not too far into it, it is its own game.
Okay.
And it's really nice. I enjoyed it a lot.
Excellent. Yeah, that will be on my list. That will be my answer to this, hopefully soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the TurboGrafx 16 mini and discovering a lot of those retro games that I never played. So that will probably be my answer.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too.
Yeah.
Have you guys even played much Turbo at all?
No.
Really?
I
did not.
But not crazy amounts.
Really?
You know, like I played a fair amount of like Military Madness and Blazing Lasers and the Bonk games and Air Zonk. I had a duo for a long time.
Games.
Yeah,
the Bonk games are probably the series I'm most familiar with.
Right.
Lots of Ys 1 and 2.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So speaking of Zelda clones, that's going to have the 2 Newtopia games on there.
I played a lot of the first Newtopia, and I'm excited to play the second one.
Yeah, Newtopia is pretty darn good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this one from Hackeralius P.O. who says, "Are the absolute prices of the X series and PS5 less important than the comparative price? Any difference in price greater than $20 makes one look expensive. I think for the Series X, price is its biggest enemy. More teraflops does sell consoles."
What I don't know what the prices are. Neither do you.
Nobody does, right? But I guess, does it mean are the prices as important as the specs?
Yeah, I think so.
Like if the X was $20 more expensive. I mean, you look at last gen where the Xbox One was $100 more expensive, and that basically wrote it off. I mean, in part,
Yeah,
the
to be
other
fair,
mistakes
that's not
that
the only
Microsoft
reason.
the other mistakes that Microsoft made were probably a larger impact than that, but it didn't make it any better that it was $100 more expensive for over a year, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I think teraflops only matters to a very small portion of people. I think what the games are and is gonna, and whether or not they're exclusive, is probably gonna make
I feel
more
like
of a difference.
I feel like the time when a difference in price could be justified by and understood by the mass market has long gone.
Yeah.
Because games are so sort of system agnostic at this point. They're so similar across systems.
Mm-hmm.
You can't point to like, you can't show someone Assassin's Creed on the Xbox One and Assassin's Creed on the PlayStation 4, whatever the latest one is, and say which one's which and have most people be able to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's not like the old days where, you know, you showed them like Mortal Kombat on the Genesis and Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo. Just by looking at those, you knew which, or listening to those, you knew which system it was playing on. Like those days are so far gone now that I feel like, yeah, saying this has more teraflops isn't going to mean anything to anybody, because it's not something that
it matters to the Digital Foundry
show makes
crowd.
it different. No, I know what I'm saying. For the mass market, it's not something you can demonstrably show. You know, like you can't say, look at this, it's so much better, right? Like it's just no.
I
it's not gonna
agree. And
happen.
even commercials for the new machines, if you're watching it on a 720p television, it's not going to be 4K, 60 frames a second, right? Like it's gonna look like what it's gonna look like. So yeah, I mean, you have to have great content first, and then maybe people will appreciate the spec difference in a smaller way. I don't think people will be like, I don't think this generation is going to be sold on specs alone.
No, there will be a subset that will be, for sure.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Let's do this one from Hackeralius KSO 514, who says, do you think the Switch would be any different in terms of hardware and functionality if the Wii U was a success?
I don't know. The Wii U felt like a stepping stone to what the Switch ended up being.
Yeah, I think you're
does.
right. I mean, even right after the Wii U came out, people were like, but I can't take the gamepad with me all around my house or what. Like that was one of the major concerns about the Wii U.
I remember being disappointed that the signal wouldn't carry even as far as like my bedroom.
Yeah.
I could lay in bed and play something for a little while before I went to sleep. Which is a terrible practice, by the way, but it still would have been nice to be able to do it.
You could probably say because the Wii U failed, the Switch. I mean that's why the Switch came about entirely, because the Wii U was not a success.
But I mean it's still the same concept.
It is. Yeah, they're just switching. For the Wii U, the gamepad itself was just a screen. It wasn't doing any of the processing in it. Whereas now the Switch, all of it is in the handheld, and the dock is just the dock.
Right.
So it's complete reversal. Do I think the Switch would be any different? I mean, if the Wii U was a success, would we have the Switch? Probably not.
I don't know. I can't tell which side CJ is arguing for, but
I'm not arguing for either side. Because I mean, I liked the Wii U, but I accepted it for what it was. Whereas, like, so many reviews were like, I can't take this with me on the bus. In terms of the gamepad, it's like, why would you even want to take the gamepad on the bus? Like, it's it's clearly not a portable thing, right? But I am very glad that Nintendo created the Switch. You remember when the Wii U came out and people wanted 2 gamepads on one system, and Nintendo made that.
What were they thinking?
Announcement like, oh yeah, next year we'll sell a gamepad separately and you'll be able to use 2 gamepads with one system. That never
did happen.
No, I'm sure that wasn't even really a thing that could technically be done with a lot of games, because the main Wii U had to push graphics to the gamepad screen. Imagine if it had to push those graphics to 2 gamepad screens. You wouldn't have like Mass Effect 2 or 3 or whatever on 2 gamepads plus the TV.
It was just
anyway.
2 Wii's duct taped together anyway. So
well, and that too. Yeah. Excuse me.
You are excused, my
Let's
friend.
do this one from Hacker Alias Beard the Movie, who says, "What are your top 90s arcade games?"
Jeez, I don't know if I can think of 90
Oh my
arcade
God.
games
Well,
off
I mean,
the top
Daytona
of my head.
US.
Right.
Daytona USA is
Daytona.
right up there, obviously.
For sure. Sega Rally was a lot of fun.
I never played it in the arcade.
No?
Nope.
Oh, man. Fun. Obviously, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, any of those incarnations.
Any of that crap.
Yeah. NBA Jam.
Yeah.
Turtles was a
Blitz.
90s thing, wasn't it?
No, that was late 80s.
Really?
Was
The
it?
arcade game?
Yeah.
Turtles was I mean, Turtles kind of took
Turtles-
off in like 89.
The Turtles Arcade, I think, is 89.
Let me see.
I'm looking
here.
it up.
Yep.
Is it 89?
Yep.
That means it was one of my favorite games of the 90s then.
So Turtles 2.
No, I mean, I played
Turtles,
it in the 90s.
Turtles
so-
in Time.
Yeah, I played it in the
Yes,
90s.
yeah.
It's a
But it was
90s game.
not. But it was not released.
Yeah, whatever. It was here. Everything came late here anyway. So
What's your favorite movie of the last 10 years? I'd have to say Casablanca. Because
if it's the movie I watched the most in the
I
last
just
10 years,
watched
it is my favorite
Casablanca.
movie from the last 10 years.
yeah, exactly.
What else? Hydro Thunder is right up there.
Yeah.
And San Francisco Rush.
Oh, here's
Lots.
one. We've talked about this on the show a few times. A not at all classic Namco track and field game
Oh,
called
God, here it
Newman
comes.
Athletics.
Yep. Newman Athletics.
Newman Athletics 1993 is a fantastic anime inspired track and field game from the good folks at Namco. That is so darn good.
CJ left again.
Did he really?
He keeps leaving.
Why would he do that? What's he got
I
going
don't
on
know.
that's so
don't
bloody
know.
important?
I think he's on another show.
Simpsons arcade game was 91.
Wow, so that was after Turtles. Huh.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is crazy. Street Fighter 2.
We already said that.
Did we say Street Fighter 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
But see, the problem with me with this question is I didn't spend a lot of time in arcades.
Really?
And the arcades that I was frequenting apparently had mostly games from the late 80s.
Well, they were probably cheaper at that point.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just going to look up 90s arcade games. Oh, we got the X-Men game.
That was quite good.
Classic. Smash TV was fun.
Oh, I love Smash TV.
Yeah. You got Virtual Cop.
Oh, and the Virtua Fighter games. Yeah.
Virtual
Yeah.
Fighter, Virtual Cop.
Virtual Racing. I was a big fan of Virtual Racing.
Got it. Yeah.
We're
you
just
got your-
listing 90s arcade games at this point, CJ.
I figured.
House of the Dead. 96.
Typing in the
Suffer like
Dead.
G
Typing in the
did.
Dead.
Oh, actually, you know what? This is
Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
This is one of my actual favorites from early 90s that I mean, not that I didn't like any of the other games. They're all classic games. Metal Slug, another 96
That's a
outstanding game.
series that I've always meant to spend more time with and never
Yeah.
have.
Metal Slug's so good.
I
All
know.
of
I
them,
mean,
yeah.
from what little I've played, I really
Right.
enjoyed, but
Yeah.
I just haven't, I've
They're
never
really
sat
good.
down and said, I'm going to play some Metal Slug.
like
and really,
everything
play
Neo
through it.
Geo is 90s too, right?
Yeah. You know what arcade game I played the hell out of in the early 90s?
Sengoku.
Yeah.
I did.
No.
We played all 3 of those
I know.
Sengoku games. It was great. finished them.
the Terminator 2 arcade game
The arcade
with
game.
the
that
with the
was
guns. Yeah, the
good.
shooting one.
Yeah.
So good.
Yep.
It's a shame about the home versions.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Indeed.
But there were a bunch of good.
The 90s was great for arcade
Like
games.
you got your Tekken games.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Ridge Racer. I loved Ridge Racer.
Did you just poo Tekken?
I totally did just poo-poo Tekken.
Do you not like Tekken?
No, I've never liked Tekken.
That's weird, man.
Killer
Tekken's
Instinct was the
great.
90s as well, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, you like Killer Instinct, but
No,
not
I didn't.
Tekken?
I assumed one of you would, since you clearly have terrible taste in fighting
No,
games.
Killer Instinct is what? Goodness gracious!
I was never a Killer Instinct fan.
This guy over here liking
neither.
Virtua Fighter over Tekken.
Yeah, what's
because
up
there's a
with
better
that?
game.
Say what you want.
I don't agree with that. I think VF2 maybe have something there, but
Soul
the original
Calibur.
Virtual Fighter, no.
Soul Calibur.
The original virtual. Okay,
Soul,
so then
Soul
VF2.
Virtual Fighter.
VF2 was out in the
VF2
'90s.
is good.
Yeah, yeah,
VF2 is good.
yeah. Tekken 2 is better than VF2.
Nope.
Yeah,
No way.
yeah. And I think the folks at home will agree with me on that.
What do I care what the folks at home think about that?
Oh, you hear that, people? Yeah, that's right.
All right. Let's do
What?
this one from Hacker Alias
What?
Earthbound G-Man, who says,
Okay.
best co-op game recommendations. I'm looking to introduce my wife to video games and would love to make it a hobby for the two of us.
Just the two of us. Yeah.
Ooh, Toe Jam and Earl. There you
That's
go.
a great co-op game just because it's hard to get angry at each other in that game.
Yeah. Play Overcooked. There you go.
Oh,
No, only if you want to get divorced. No, I've heard a lot of people say they really like enjoy playing Overcooked with their partners. So
Overcooked
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a
that's a
ton
great
of
game.
fun, actually.
Yeah.
What are some other good co-op? Co-op
Smash
games?
TV.
Oh, there you go.
Smash TV. There you go.
Are these going to be all
Well,
I don't know.
other
I guess
than-
you just said it before, so I'm
other
just,
than
you know.
Overcooked? Are these going to be all like 90s
Yeah.
games?
the stretchers, snipper
Oh
clips
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, snippy clip, please.
Snippy
Snip, snip,
clippy.
clip to the snip, snip.
on the Switch. There you
Snippity
go.
clippity. Don't forget the stretches. Stretchy, stretch, stretch.
Wow.
Stretch it out together.
I guess it depends also. Are you talking about single screen couch co-op, or are you talking about like PC plus?
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
Whatever.
The best co-op is single screen couch co-op.
Well, yeah. I agree.
Looking to introduce my wife to video games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if you make her go on a different machine
Yeah.
in a different room, maybe.
Honey, I've rented you an
Yeah.
apartment with a PC in it across town. I'm going to
Why
need
don't
you
you
to
go
go
there?
there.
I only use it 2 nights a week. You can't be there.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to assume this is couch co-op is what we're talking about.
You're
here.
right.
Yeah.
You're right,
Yeah.
What are some other good couch co-op games? Because now I'm thinking all like like Mario Kart and stuff. That's competitive.
Yeah. That's how I was just
Mario
gonna-
Kart, I think, is still a
But
good.
it's not couch co-op.
It's not co-op.
No,
though.
it's not. It's not co-op. You're
Yeah,
right.
you don't cooperate.
No.
We're talking about introducing someone to games, so I see why he wants to do co-op.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, if your introduction to games is to sit down and kick their ass at something competitive over and over again, I feel like that's going to hurt their interest.
Uh,
What are you talking about?
oh, man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think we've made some good.
I think
We don't
that's
need to
good.
list 100 of these. I mean,
Yeah.
No.
you know,
Yeah. Overcooked is a very solid modern choice. Stretchers
Yeah.
is fun too. Yeah.
Yeah. Snipper clips is fun.
Yeah. Snipper clips
Co-op.
is also good.
So.
So
All right. That's some good.
maybe
Stuff.
the Lego games.
oh yeah, those are great co-op games
yeah.
in general. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good call. Any Lego
Yeah,
game,
The
especially
Lego
you know,
games.
if you have some real love for like Star Wars or Harry Potter or the
Mm,
DC,
Yeah.
you know, any of that
That's
stuff,
true.
you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Well, and some of those show up on things like Game Pass, so you can try them out.
Yeah.
oh, also true.
uh,
Yeah.
But
Yeah, good
yeah,
call.
like the Lego games on any console basically are often put on sale, deep
Oh, yeah.
discount.
Yeah.
So wait for that and pick that up for pick one of those up for like $10.
But I mean, because
Lego
mean,
City
the-
Undercover is really fun.
I mean, the Lego games do have kind of. There are tiers of quality as well. Like the
That's
Lego
true.
movie
Sure.
games are not very good.
But if she's a
No.
fan of like the Harry Potter IP or
yeah,
I feel like you're
Jurassic
saying
Park
exactly what
or
I just said a minute ago. but
Star
yes.
Wars, like Greg was saying earlier.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So
Fine. All right, let's finish up with this one from hacker alias Insipid Ghost, who says, "I'm currently enjoying Zombie Army 4. Me too. Hey, look at that. But goodness, there are some odd conversations in explaining to people that I love games that may not be considered tens. Do you ever run into an issue of enjoying a game for what it is versus the narrative on it from social media?"
Yeah, constantly.
That's pretty much every week on the
Constant.
show with me.
But then you just realize that you don't care
Exactly.
and enjoy what you enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Musu games.
Right.
I love the janky as hell Earth Defense Force games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I loved that PS4 Godzilla game for
I'll
crying
sit down
out loud.
and drive in circles for hours.
Yeah, and then you'll come home and
Yeah.
play a video
And then I'll
game.
play a video game.
Ugh. Oh yeah,
No,
I love
I mean,
a
I
lot
think-
of games that are not
Oh, absolutely.
I don't understand people
All the
who
time.
take so much pleasure and spend so much time telling you not to like things you like.
I
don't
agree
Get it. Don't get it.
with
Yeah.
that. Earlier today, there's that game Bleeding Edge that's coming out on Xbox. It's a Ninja Theory multiplayer game, a third-person multiplayer game, and the beta for that is coming up next week.
Mhm.
Very excited about that, and it's going to be free on Game Pass and whatnot. Anyway, there was a thread about a new video series out covering Bleeding Edge, and the amount of people that go into a thread like that and just say how the game looks like it's going to suck or whatever, it's just like, what? Like, why do people feel the need to go into a thread and just post that they think the game is shit? Like, why? I just don't understand that. It's like, here's a new trailer. We're all excited about the game. Game looks like shit. Great, buddy. Fine. Like, why are you going into a thread discussing it? I don't get it. People suck.
People do
Wow.
suck.
I think that's
And the internet has
lesson
put us
here.
in touch with so many of them.
The internet, yeah, it puts you in touch with too many people that have those opinions. So play what you enjoy, and there's no reason to not shout out about games that you like that maybe other people don't.
Hey, speaking of shout out, I meant to do this earlier, but I want to do this now. So hacker alias SMB CMR
Yeah.
recently asked me on the tweeters if I had grabbed one of the pink Genesis controllers that Limited Run was selling
Oh yeah.
last year in support of breast cancer awareness, and of course I had not.
Fully
Shouldn't say of course.
licensed.
But yes, it was a partnership with Sega, and I had not done so. And he was like, "Oh, well, I've got an extra one, so give me your address and I'll send it." And
Oh, look at that.
shut up.
Nice.
So I just wanted to say thank you
Ooh.
very much for that. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's a fully licensed Sega Genesis controller. It's a transparent pink, and it's got I know I'm all fuzzy here, but it's got the little Breast Cancer Awareness Month logo there.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
look at that.
on it. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Can always use more Genesis controllers, obviously, because I do use them a lot. So but supremely generous. Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, you know what? I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners. Goes by the hacker alias Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
I want to say I'm glad you didn't burn to death.
Yeah, man.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah,
I
that was
missed
You didn't hear?
this.
Did you? Mr. Nelson was recently on fire.
Oh no.
But not in a
He's
good
fine.
way.
No.
He's fine.
Oh my god.
He's fine.
His shirt isn't.
His shirt did not survive
Oh.
the ordeal. Apparently was a small grease fire in his kitchen, and a bit of
It
the
turned into a
flames
small shirt fire.
popped onto his shirt,
Oh no.
and you know, he was talking about this on the Twitters, and he posted a picture of his shirt.
Oh god.
And he apparently he discovered that stop, drop, and roll
Works.
it works. So I'm glad it does. So I'm glad he didn't burn up, because that would be bad. So congratulations. I don't know. I
mean,
don't know how to end
We're
this.
happy you didn't. We're
I'm-
happy you didn't burn.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I would have the wherewithal to, I mean,
Stop, drop, and roll.
yeah, I mean, I mean, when I was a kid, I don't know if they implant that fear that you are going to catch on fire into children these days at school. But when I was a kid, they were constantly showing us like fire safety videos, and the whole stop, drop, and roll thing was a
They
really
do that.
big
They
deal.
do that now. Yeah, they do that now.
Do they still?
Yeah.
Because boy, was I convinced that like catching on fire was something that people do on the regular when I was a kid. And in my 45 years on this earth, I know of one person who has. But thankfully it worked. The lessons that they taught us.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I might be too panicked in that situation. So kudos to you, Mr. Nelson, for keeping your poop together and dropping and rolling. Because I'll tell you what doesn't work on a grease fire. Splashing water on it. Doesn't help.
No.
Doesn't help. Also, I'm afraid if my shirt was on fire, I fear my instinct would be to remove the shirt. Which just
burn your face in the
which
process,
just seems like,
or?
yes, you're dragging flames up your body and over your face
idea.
and over your very flammable
like
hair.
bad.
So, but yeah,
I think your best hope is like basically Dana needs to be home at all times.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I feel like
I'm
that's
not
the only
allowed
way
to
you're
use-
surviving anything.
I'm not allowed to use just about anything in the kitchen. I can have bread as long, but she has to, that little plastic tab that they put around loaves of bread to keep them closed. She has to remove those, and we have to tuck it under, because that was deemed too potentially hazardous in my hands. So
I can't tell if you're joking.
my job here is done.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information, find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward every now and then. But most often you'll find Generation 16 episodes.
Script is done for this gargantuan new episode, and actually started gathering some footage last night. So
nice.
Very, very, very excited. I need to put together some shot lists and do some prepping and planning, but it's underway.
Very nice. You will also find show notes and links to the things that we talked about during this episode. So if you missed the name of a game or something, it'll be in there. With a link to its official webpage or store page or one of those things. You will also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast application. You can also do something. Remember last week when I did this really well?
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought you had it.
Nope.
Guess not.
Nope. What else can you do? You can
Cheap.
We're on Cheap. We're on Stitcher. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch us live most weeks, right? On the YouTubes.
Yep.
My son is very
That
stealthily
means you got to hurry up because
in
things
here.
are going to fall apart fast.
That's true.
What's up, buddy? Oh, he's plugging in my iPad. He's been
that's
playing.
good.
He's been playing. You can just leave it there, buddy. You don't have to plug it in. But I mean, go ahead and do it anyway. There you are. You can. Come on, buddy. Okay, there we go. Okay. You can say hi to everyone, Finn. You want to yell hi to everyone?
Oh,
Don't
gosh.
yell. Say it.
Don't
just
do
say
it.
hi.
Say hi.
There it is.
There we
Okay,
are.
get out of here, you scamp. I love you. It's my boy. Anyway, where was I? We're on Spotify. Oh, you're on YouTube. We're on youtube.com/P1 Podcast. Follow our Twitter account to find out when we will be doing our next live show. It's usually this time, Sunday evenings, Pacific. You can also, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com where you can throw a few shekels our way. Maybe we can afford to buy me a pencil to write down the script for this outro
Possible.
with your funds. But you know what, my friends, my dear friends, if you are supporting us at the $5 tier, not
Cheap?
only cheap, it is cheap. Not only are you helping keep the lights on and our boat afloat here at the
And our
Player One
hearts
Podcast,
warm.
and our hearts as warm as the snuggies in which we envelop them. You also gain access to a special bonus show every week. We do a little post show after hours. The pants come off, the inhibitions are
Gone.
freed, and
Yep.
we have so much exotic, erotic fun. You can't believe it. The video game trivia we discuss is off the chain. But it's fun. We have fun. We crack wise. We tell jokes. Sort of. It's fun. Join us, if you please.
Yes.
If you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com where you will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Also cheap.
Also cheap indeed. CJ,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, don't patronize me. This was terrible. I did a bad job on the outro this week. I know.
You did. It's true. Write it down next
Hey, jeez.
Wow.
Man,
Raw.
see
That was
if
raw.
you know what? maybe kill your own PSO monsters, you jerk. Who's going to be shooting them in the background, whittling away their damage while you're in there slashing like a
I'm sure I'll
chump?
find somebody.
Yeah, you'll find a jerk. You jerk. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you as well.
Hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate the effort.
You know what? That's nice to hear. I would expect nothing less from a warm-hearted man such as yourself.
Very warm tonight.
Mm,
Well, I would, yeah, you got the
I would
snuggie.
imagine. Wow.
How much of that personage does that snuggie cover?
Only down to my waist.
Okay.
That's why I don't feel weird about it.
And then free and breezy, living easy.
No, but we're
course.
not in the after show yet.
Okay, good. Well, then we'll
Had to
see
warm
all
up the chair first.
I thought your farts were doing
Oh.
the job of that. Get a little toasty in here. Thank you, of course, to all of our wonderful listeners. You are fantastic. And we'll see you next week, my dear friends.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Toodle-oodles.